thinking about writing a novel for maybe 50 years. It took me this long to actually get to write it. And I discovered that it was very much like directing, because more than screenwriting. Screenwriting is a very strange kind of writing, and it's not like writing prose fiction, very different. So writing the novel I was casting it, I was doing the lighting, I was doing the locations, doing the costumes, and it felt like directing. It was really interesting. It surprised me. That aspect surprised me, and the book has been published in 25 countries and in 20 different languages, and so to that extent, it was a success. Most of the films that I chose were by very famous art film directors, Fellini, Bergman, and even the most famous filmmakers have transgressed into what I would consider fantasy filmmaking. Films of the imagination of a very specific kind. And really only one of the films, which is The Incredible Shrinking Man, which is an American film done by really a journeyman director, not a famous art director, and yet it was a film that had a great influence on me. And technically it's maybe science fiction rather than fantasy, but if you know science, you know that it is fantasy. It's not a possible thing to happen. But a low-budget American film that had beautiful philosophical implications. And so this was the mixture of things that I chose to at least illustrate how deeply ingrained the idea of fantasy is in filmmaking.